Hello, this is Huntsman9, and today I'm going to be doing a video on a tutorial of how to play as Lucia from DMC2. Uh, First and foremost, I want to talk about, this equip tool that you could use in this game for the amulet. I needed to talk about this because this can also change the way your combos play out when it comes to using elements and things like that. You know how these elements have like different abilities. Now I've beaten this game before, but I just to let you know that like I've just recently started to pick this game back up on the PS5 because last time I beat this game was like on the PS3 and on the PS2. Just to give you some background, so I'm not too familiar. I don't really remember much about how these come into play. I mean, at least not yet. However, what I will talk about is how deep and far Lucia's combo system goes. Um, she can get very complicated. So I'll start off with, for something just to start off with, is like the R1 and triangle, right? So it's almost like how should I say, kind of like that move that Dante uses to do a helm breaker or helm split. So you're like using R1 and back triangle, right? Easy enough, or R1 back triangle without holding the triangle button, just like that, right? I'm gonna also go into looking at a few of her moves. So you're coming to the selection screen over here, look at action, and then you see a few of her moves, like flip escape, air hike. So all of her moves, you don't even have to buy them. Now you can upgrade Lucia's weapon. I don't really think that'll give you more combos, I don't think. But basically it's like in this game, what was an improvement from DMC1 was that you just get all your moves, which is something that people talked about for DMC5. Like, I know there's like a big excuse with the storyline and Nero and everything about his arm, but essentially they didn't have to really nerf him. They could have just, how come you just can't use all your moves? You know what I'm saying? Right? Or like, even if you try to use an excuse because of Virgil and his story, it's like, okay, it's like, what about the next game? Are they going to nerf Nero? Or are you going to be able to just use all your moves? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, as you can see, when you play this game right off the bat, you just basically have all the moves. Now, Dante has a lot of combos as well. However, when you use characters like Lucia, she's just a whole lot more articulate, more elegant, and faster to pull off, more complicated combos. Okay, now that you've seen all that, right? Now I'm going to go into, some of her other moves. At first it doesn't seem as complicated, but once you combine all the moves that I show you, you're going to see how complex that Lucia can be. I'm showing you this because she's just an underrated character, and she needs to be in the new DMC game, like DLC for DMC5 or DMC6, or preferably both. Anyway, I'm going to get to it. So what you want to do for when you're starting off combos, right? Pressing, triangle, right? About 3 times. This is her vanilla combo. Okay, and you can go into almost like how you use a combo, and then you go into like a pause, and then you continue your attack, similar to, Dante's, Stinger. So you kind of have controls like that with Lucia. So I'm going to demonstrate what happens with that. So it's like, I believe it's pressing triangle 2 times, you pause, and then you move the left stick in whatever direction you want to move it in, right? So instead of just like you're just pressing triangle 2 times and then pause and then triangle again. Essentially, before you use the initial final input, you have to use the stick and triangle. So you see what I just did there, right? I'll just show you again. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. There you go, like that, right? And then you have what I was just showing you, like this. And then you could also press the left stick in any direction and press triangle, like 2 times, right? And that's what you'll get, right? And remember, you still have your neutral combo. Alright, so I showed you that. So now to get into some of the other more advanced things, then you have, this is why I actually like this, this is actually why I like Lucia way better than Dante. When I first played this game, I liked using Lucia way more. So, I mean, you could wall run too with Dante, but I'll talk about this stuff later, but here we go. So when you're wall running, right, kind of like think about like the Matrix, not just like you're running towards a wall, but running alongside of it, right? So just get used to it, whatever side you're running on. So demonstration, like that. And then there's wall running for just running up a wall. And that's utilizing the circle button. So initially, running alongside a wall, and then holding circle. I believe you could just press circle, right? Yeah, you can just press circle. You don't have to hold it. And then, like I showed you, just run up to a wall and then circle. So there's that. All right. The reason why I'm showing you that's just for like to do like setup for drippy combos. You know what I'm saying? Just be stylish. Put some charisma on it. And now I'm going to show you a few other things with Lucia, right? I'm going to get to the other good stuff soon, but bear with me. So then you also have, kind of like with the Stinger, where you hold R1 and then forward triangle. So this is what it looks like, right? Just a little demonstration. And then from there, right, what Lucia also has, other than her, her daggers, or like the blades that she's using, she also has a set of daggers that she throws at her opponent. So that's a square button. So instead of guns, this is what she does. And then square with X. So you're like jumping in the air, and then pressing square while airborne, or while beginning to be airborne. I'll show you what that looks like. Now, you're probably gonna have to press like square button like 2 or 3 times while you're in the air, right? And now I'm also going to show you the circle button. So like kind of like the dodging in DMC 4 or 5 with Nero. Lucia's almost has something that's similar to like a table hopper. It's just similar. It's not like the exact same thing or works the same way. So from side to side, right? I mean, not that, but I'll show you that soon. Side to side, backwards. Now, her backwards, her backflips are almost similar to like how Darksiders 3 is, where, or I'm saying, I couldn't say Darksiders 3. I would say like Darksiders 2, where you have limited backflips until you have to do like a reset, right? Of course, this game came out before that, but obviously you just get the point, just like a little bit of reference, basically. So you have that, right? And then you also have R1 and then forward circle, you know, like your roll. Now, I'm gonna show more of her acrobatic stuff. I guess you could say that um, that this particular character, Lucia, is mainly like a, should I say, like a high movement acrobatic like fighter. You could kind of almost think about it like Harley Quinn, right? All right. Now, other than that, I'm gonna show you R1 using left stick to like the left or the right. Or I should say R1 forward X, and then you have R1 backward X, right? So with this, you have like just like do a bunch of other jumps. So the best way I would put it, like why am I showing you like these movements? It's because you could use Lucia for like a tricking like parkour like style is the best way I can explain it. So like when I was showing you like those backflips, I'll do it again with, you know, R1 backward circle for backflips. So this is let me try one more time. So after like I'll do like 2 backflips and then use R1 X backwards, right? So I'll just give you a demonstration. 2 and then X. I'll it looks like I thought she could do 3 backwards. Right, there it is right there for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's probably the positioning or something like that. But anyway, or you could just do like 1 backflip with the R1 back circle, then go into R1X, and you have like multiple backflips, right? I know people talk about like the timing when it comes to characters like Nero from DMC5 or other characters that are timing. You could kind of say that when it comes to using combos with Lucia, that her mechanics are also somewhat like timing as well. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so I showed you all those things, right? Now I'm going to show you just a few more movement techniques. So then there's also the reason why I'm showing you the R1 forward X, right? Because this is also how you can start off other certain combos, like for instance, forward X and then pressing square, like that. Instead of her being like up here or like way in the air. I mean, you can still do that with combos too, but you know what I'm saying? Just different positioning combos. And then you also have, or you know, you could also do this like backwards. Maybe you're dodging your opponent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like doing like that. Show you again, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's just being drippy with it, being stylish with it. All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna show you R1 forward X, and then this time when you do this, you press triangle. So I want you to get used to actually doing this. There's a reason why I'm showing you this, because this combo setup is gonna be like one of the most fun things to do in this game for combo setups. Right now you could do this more. Right. This is her full combo with the forward triangle X, or you could also do this with backwards as well. Like I was showing you with like, you know, dodging. So like this, and then you have the forward. And then you can do stuff like that, right? So it's starting to get more complicated as I go, and like you'll see what I mean by complicated, because when you combine all the stuff I'm teaching you, it's gonna get complicated, right? So I showed you all that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you her infinite kick. I want to call it like her bicycle kick, but basically, you know, kind of like almost like Liu Kang. But anyway, so this move takes timing, so you can like infinite loops, right? So I'm just showing you how this move takes timing to use, especially if you're like even when it comes to like positioning, using it, how to control it. You can control it somewhat, but I haven't really mastered it yet. I've seen in some cases where you can kind of control it. I think it may have something to do with the lock on, right? So like, you could do this like numerous amounts of times where you can do a bunch of fun stuff with that. I'm about to get to that one move you just saw in a second. I mean, soon, but I'm just, showing you this. Alright, so with that infinite, right? Obviously, that's something that would be considered like a bug in the game, similar to in like the DMC reboot. How how you're using like a helm breaker, right, or helm splitter, and you're just like rapidly hitting your opponent, above your enemy, right? Or certain moves in the DMC series video games that would be considered bugs, but people have used them for combos. So this is just something I'm showing, not just you, but Capcom, that, hopefully it's not a move that gets patched. I hope it's a move that stays in Lucia's arsenal, because it's just like one of those, I don't know how to, it's just one of those moves that should be used for like, for fun, like, and also being stylish. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing you like how far you could probably go with it. Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, now I'm gonna show you one of her playstyles that she used for triangle, right? Is essentially what you have to do. Before you press triangle, you have to jump in the air, and before, like, it's almost like you have to time this. It's like almost like when you're touching the ground, right when you're about to touch the ground, you immediately press triangle. I think it's, yeah, you have to hold R1 to do this. I believe you could just like drop on the ground and then press R1 and triangle. I'll try it right now. Yeah, you could do that too. Or you just hold the R1 button before you hit the ground. Right? So, but that's R1 and triangle before you touch the ground. Right? And then what I showed you before, kind of like with the kicking, the infinite, I gotta stop holding R1. Trying to remember what it was. Oh, that's right. That's what I also need to talk about. Well, I'm getting kind of confused. So, doing you could do your infinite. Yeah, infinite, and then like do that, right? So then also, or you can just go like R1 at R1 forward X, and then you can do it, right? Or backward and then do it. So it's like helps you with your distance on knowing when to use it. And something I didn't know about Lucia's daggers or kunai that she throws is that there's a move called double time, right? I didn't know that you could actually throw your daggers with Lucia in different directions, the opposite direction of your opponent while you're holding R1. So like say if I was holding R1 and there's an opponent behind me or near me, right, I can press in the opposite direction while still locked onto one of my opponents, and press square in the other direction that an enemy's in. And I didn't know this, but the kunai or I'm just going to say dagger, when she throws a dagger, it actually does a knockback to your opponent. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I never knew that until I started playing recently. Okay, so I'm going to get into the other thing. So then you also have this move. So this right here, this is like this almost like an axe kick or drop kick. It's a neutral triangle. So like you could jump and do it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But essentially it's even when you're trying, you can move around, but like just got to remember that it's a neutral attack, right? And I should talk about, you know, the double jumps. So like you could use your daggers with, you know, square and then double jump, then square again. Just thought I put that in, right? Okay, so I covered all that, and then you also have Lucia's, when she's in the air, you can press triangle like 3 times. So gotta get out of that neutral. Okay. So when you do this with Lucia for her kicks like this, I don't think, no, you can't, I don't think you could jump into it. Not like that. That's what you're gonna get. Okay, so whenever direction you're moving in, right, and then you press triangle, right, so that's your result. You can do infinites like that, like to, you know, bring out other combos, you know what I'm saying, get creative. So like I said, this is where Lucia somewhat gets kind of complicated, because then you gotta remember when you're gonna press your certain moves that use the R1 and triangle, and you might get kind of confused about some of her moves, because some of her moves are you know, neutral triangle. Some of them you have to move the stick to do certain combos. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm just putting that out there as well, right? You know what I'm saying, learning process. Some stuff I'm still learning about as well. I like that, you know, jumping off the wall and doing that. But yes, you could also jump off the wall, things like that. I think there was another movement that I wanted to show, is that it's kind of like, almost kind of like a dive movement where you're just like this, and then you like, hold on. Yeah, that. There's other ways to use it. I'm still learning on how, you know, exactly how I'm going to start using that. But it's like you could do like quick movement with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's about it, right, for her moveset. But the main reason why I made this video in the first place is basically, it's just to show that this is the reason why this character needs to be in other DMC games, because she's just way too underrated. Okay, now I remember the other things I needed to show is, you know, how I showed you her combos, her neutral combos, things like that. So then there's also a difference when she's in her trigger. I'm gonna have to build that up. And that's another thing. That's why I want to bring this to Capcom's attention. Is that also some of the problems with this game is, like, if they make like another like HD collection or a remaster for the PS5, I really hope Capcom hope that Capcom fixes like the camera angles, the camera control for this game, because it really needs it. Right. I'm gonna try that one move that I was talking about, where you use your kunai and you shoot in another direction. Wait, hold on. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, you can do that. Trying to, oh, okay, toggle, alright. But this guy's over here. He's stuck over here. I forgot about the neutral. There we go. So I got that. Need more enemies because I want to try that move again with the toggling. I didn't know you could actually toggle with this. I mean, especially with the bad camera angles. And Lucia can fly. So obviously, and then you have like some of her air raid like play style. So then with Lucia, like I said, like the what? I didn't know you could do that. So you got that too, and then like no. I forgot to press X for the air raid. I believe you have to press X for that. So I'm gonna show you like some like the trigger combos, how it kind of works. See, now this one I didn't know you could do. I didn't know you could do like a rapid attack, almost like the Stinger. And then you have that's the neutral triangle. And then forward triangle combo. Now that I didn't know you could do like chaining with the DT into like a combo like that. Like I knew you could chain combos with the DT, but I didn't know like you could extend the combo by doing that. So that's interesting. Yes, I am someone, by the way, that likes to cook in the lab when it comes to combos. I'm just a little tired right now. Certain combos I try to do, like, I'd have to get some rest. Okay. trying to see how fast I can actually change the direction. Oh no, I'd have to figure out how to do better with the square.